I'm Clinton Cole. I'm the architect, builder and owner of the Welcome to the Jungle House. My definition of a home is, I guess, quite different to what Le Corbusier famously said a house was. He said a house is a machine for living. I believe a house is a machine for sustaining and regenerating life. And that was really important when we created our home for our family, is to connect our kids with gardening, to make them understand how rainwater capture can benefit the house, how solar can offset your electricity costs, and how you can basically produce food in your home. I'd always had my eye on this site, mainly because it faced east, north and west, so I knew with this site we'd get sun all day, and when it came up for sale at unfortunately the perfect time, we jumped on it. The house is on quite a public corner. It's very close to the local university, and the way that the house connects to that public space had to be filtered, so we used the masonry skin on the outside, created apertures in that masonry skin, and then have the glazed skin sitting about 600 millimetres inside that, so the privacy can be attenuated by the plants and in between, but it also allows you kind of beautiful outlook to greenery. We experimented quite a bit with this house in terms of materiality. The ground floor is predominantly masonry, so compressed fibre cement sheet, polished concrete, and the spackled concrete render outside. The mid-level is almost exclusively timber, timber floors, timber walls, timber ceilings, with the exception of the bathroom, which is basically seamless corian. There's no grout in that bathroom, so corian is a material you can seamlessly weld. What that means is you don't need cleaning products, you don't need bleach, you basically have a squidgy and you can clean your bathroom very easily, and for me that's the perfect bathroom. I think my favourite space in the house is the top floor, and certainly the outdoor living space that it connects from inside to outside. It catches the midday to kind of late afternoon sun in both winter and summer. It's a very peaceful place, just to hear the rustle of the leaves and the sound of the birds on a lazy Saturday or Sunday afternoon. Yeah, it's definitely my favourite place in the home. The other thing we thought about a lot when we were designing the house was clutter, like the typical parts of houses that are just get cluttered, and dining tables are just a classic. You know, people just don't use them that much anymore. So building the dining table into the island bench reduces the clutter. Having kind of purpose-built shoe stores at the entry and places to have hats and jackets and umbrellas. If you can have dedicated storage spaces for those sort of things, then it's just much easier to maintain the house. Even with 3 kids running around, the only thing we have to clean up is the endless toys scattered around the house. The rooftop contains native plants and also our fruit and vegetable garden. We've also got a native beehive up there, worm farm and compost. We also have a wind turbine, but that is probably the one failure of the home. We basically had to disconnect it because it was so loud. It was generating a lot of power, but annoying our neighbours, so that's the one fail in the home. That's a great place to take the kids to sow seedlings and to harvest fruit and veg with them. Is really makes this home quite a special place. When I'm designing a project, by the time it's gone off to council, you can kind of already see it. You can already feel what it's going to be like. And by the time it's built, you've already kind of mentally moved on to the next project. This house was quite surprising because the site was so tight dimensionally. I remember I had a tape measure by my desk the entire time that we were planning it, because every millimetre counted, and sweating over the distance between the island bench and the fridges, and whether there was enough space to have chairs. And the living room I thought was just so small, it made me so nervous, but it's actually more than we need. So during the lockdown period of COVID, we felt extremely lucky that we're in our house at that time. The house offers a lot of ways to educate your children other than your core curriculum. There's spaces for the kids to work, there's spaces for the kids to get away from each other, there's spaces for us to get away from them, we felt very lucky that we were in the house and able to do that with the kids during what was a pretty difficult period, trying to balance work and trying to balance 3 kids at home.